What's up, guys? LQ here with the LQ review. I just got out of seeing Gladiator 2. So I liked this movie. But if you go see it, do not expect it to hold a candle to the first one. All right. So this movie follows Lucius. The movie treats it like a big reveal, maybe a third or maybe halfway into the movie, that it is Lucius, but we all know it's Lucius because of the trailer. But this follows Lucius, the boy from the first movie, as he is taken out of Rome after Maximus's victory and Commodus dies. He's taken out of Rome and he starts a new life, and he kind of rejects Rome, and he rejects his mother, and he rejects the fact that he is the rightful heir to the throne. He rejects all that and starts a life. Well, eventually, this place where he settles, they are conquered by the Romans, and he's captured and taken as a gladiator, taken as a slave to Rome to become a gladiator. There are two new emperors, twins, and they are kind of crazy, kind of aggressive, bloodthirsty. They're only interested in power and conquering. Lucius works his way, much like Maximus did, works his way up the gladiator popularity, and eventually sees his mother again, and political scheming happens, and it comes to where he's fighting for the future of Rome. All right. Denzel Washington plays a very pivotal role in this movie, and Pedro Pascal plays a very pivotal role in this movie, but it's not really about either one of them. It's about Lucius. So there are some great action scenes in this movie. The gladiator scenes do not disappoint, even though they might feel a little cartoonish compared to the gladiator scenes in the first movie. There's a scene where they flood the arena and they have sharks in there. There's a scene where Lucius has to fight monkeys, and it just, some of it some of it feels a little cartoonish compared to the first one. But at the end of the day, these are still very fun, very effective action scenes that's just great to watch. There is a scene in the movie where Lucius and Pedro Pascal are in the arena, and this was, for me, the most powerful scene in the movie. It was the scene that held the most weight for me, and really had the most going on in the arena. Not in the arena, but in the stands outside the arena. It had the most going on overall. I won't really say what's happening during that scene or what the outcome of that scene is, but it was a excellent scene. Denzel Washington, you don't ever really know. I mean, you end up knowing, but throughout the movie, you're kind of trying to figure out what role Denzel Washington is going to play. At the beginning of the movie, maybe he's going to be like Proximus and end up being a man of honor, a good man. As the movie progresses, you do learn that he is a little more antagonistic, and is going to be a hurdle for Lucius to have to get over as the movie progresses. But Denzel was great in this, and obviously he is. I can't imagine Denzel being in a movie without you saying, yeah, he was great. He's Denzel Washington. So he was fantastic in it. There are a lot of callbacks to the first one, and there is a scene near the end where Lucius literally puts on Maximus's armor and really kind of accepts his fate to be the leader of Rome. Whether he's successful or not, that's not for me to say here, but that is the natural arc for this character to be on. So that scene does take place. But my point here is that there's a lot of callbacks to the original, and Maximus is mentioned many times in reverence. Marcus Aurelius is mentioned many times in reverence. Commodus is even mentioned several times. The Commodus's sister, the mother of Lucius. Oh my gosh, what is the actress's name that plays her? Oh, Wonder Woman's mom. Why is her name not coming in my head? The second I stop recording, the name's going to come to me. But she is great in this movie as well. Definitely, I love seeing her in movies. So she was great. Okay, let's get to some of the things that bothered me. I already mentioned the Gladiator fights were a little more cartoonish. I already mentioned how Denzel's character kind of had some mystery behind him. You weren't really sure what he was going to do. Okay, the Emperors. They are nowhere near the level of threat that Commodus was. Commodus was crazy, but he was crazy in a very competent way. He was a competent fighter. He was, nowhere near the level of Maximus, but he was a competent fighter. He was a competent politician. He knew how to achieve his ends. These emperors were not competent. They were crazy, but they weren't competent in any way whatsoever. And they were never really a true threat. The real threat of the movie doesn't really reveal itself until the third act of the film. But these emperors were not competent at all. And they never felt threatening. You didn't like them. The movie was effective in making you not like them. But you never felt that they were the real threat. There's a scene in the movie where Lucius rallies the gladiators and, kind of employs them as soldiers. It's kind of the same thing that Maximus did with his gladiators, right? He towards the end of the movie, when he's trying to make his escape, he literally employs them as soldiers. But when Maximus rallied the gladiators to his aid, you understood why he had the loyalty of them, because we watched the whole movie him earning their loyalty. In this movie, we never really saw Lucius earning the loyalty of the gladiators. The gladiators celebrated him because he had some success in the arena, but we never saw him really earn that loyalty. And in this movie, there's a scene where he says to them, strength and honor, and they all yell strength and honor, and it's clear that he has their loyalty and they're ready to die for him, but you never really see him earning that. It's just something that just kind of happened. So, and the ending of this movie wasn't as effective as the ending of the first one, because nothing was going to have the same level of drama as Maximus fighting Commodus. They tried to replicate that in this, but the ending just didn't have that dramatic weight to it. When the movie ended, I just kind of thought, oh, that's it. And it was done. Where when Commodus and Maximus had the end of their fight, it was like, wow, this was a battle for the ages. And you felt the weight of it. So, good movie. Good movie. Had a good time. I'm glad that I went to see it. But it's nowhere near as good as the first one. Not even in the same ballpark. And maybe that's an unfair comparison because the first one was so good. I mean, it was a Best Picture winner. It was a huge movie 24 years ago. I was a freshman in college when it came out, and I remember seeing it with some of my friends, and even then I was like, I'm seeing something special. And I didn't get that feeling here. I just enjoyed it like I would enjoy a good movie. So, good movie, nowhere near as good as the first. Still recommend seeing it, and that's my thoughts on Gladiator 2. Have you seen it? Do you plan to see it? Let me know in the comments down below. And while you're down there commenting, subscribe to my channel. And until next time, we'll see you guys later.